When we moved out of Southern California into the state where we currently live, Southern California, or all of California really, was in a state of emergency drought. I have some friends coming to help me. Oh my goodness. Hi, Georgia Brown. Hi, baby. Okay, hold on. Hold on. No. Go ahead, sit. Just a minute. I don't... Hold on. Hi, Monty. Oh, jeez. Georgia, down. Good girl. All right, hold on. Whoa. Okay, okay. Hey, nope. Down. Okay. Oh, they are so needy. No. Down. Well, why don't you guys just record a video then? Okay, I'm back. I'm a little bit more slobbery than I was, and I have dog breath in my face, but we will continue anyway. Oh man. Do you need a Tic Tac? Okay, well, anyway. When we left California, California dry, California bad, no water, California. And we moved to the state we currently live in, and it was green and lush and beautiful. So we could use all the water that our hearts desired. We didn't have to pay extra huge big prices for it, and which I loved because I am a water hog. I love long, hot showers. Well, since being off-grid, I do not have long, hot showers because the camper we bought, unbeknownst to us at the time of purchase, had a broken water heater, and we just never put in a new one. So in order to get a hot shower, we have to boil our water, and then we put it into a bucket with cool water, and we use a coffee mug that I won at a baby shower, and we use the coffee mug to pour it on ourselves. Now that, if you're already... And now the guineas want to talk. Now the kids are crying. This is, nobody wants me to complete this video. Oh! There. Ah! Don't lick my mouth. Okay. Oh, gosh. Showering. I showered a lot. Oh, now I don't shower with a hot running shower. I now use a bucket. Not this particular bucket, but I use a bucket to shower out of, and it's called military showers, where you just fill it up with water, you put hot water in, and you take a cup and you pour it over yourself. Now, that was difficult to get accustomed to, and I think it's especially difficult because we live in the camper and it's a teeny tiny, itty bitty little shower that we have to work with. It's just really small, and it can be very uncomfortable, particularly when I've been pregnant in the camper and I had stop, go, Monty, come on. Small space in the camper. So small space, hard to shower, especially when pregnant. That was it. It was especially hard because what we have to do is we have to take the bucket and then you squat in front of the bucket, which is different than the composting bucket, which you squat over the bucket. But anyway, I digress. You take the bucket, you squat in front of it, you take your cup, and then you pour it over yourself. Now that does actually work very, very well. You're not dirty when you take a military shower or a shower out of a bucket. You feel clean still, but it has its challenges. Let's talk about the benefits first, and then we'll talk about the cons to it. The pros are that you know how much water you are using. You are able to be much more resourceful with your water, so there's really no waste. And you get really, really good at knowing how to shower most efficiently. So the way that I do it is I will get myself wet down with the mug, and then I will do shampoo, then soap, and then I rinse it all off from head to toe, and then I do conditioner, rinse that off, and I'm good to go. Leg shaving does not always happen. Maybe it's just because I grew up with long hot showers that it doesn't feel as good as being able to stand there and just let hot water hit you. I used to like such hot water that it would turn my skin bright pink. And now I don't get that. But I've actually noticed that my body has become accustomed to hot water and is no longer accustomed to scalding hot water, which I think scalding is really closer to the temperature I used to use. Another pro I think is very significant is that I know that I can do it. Now I don't have to be concerned if suddenly the resource of running water isn't available to me somewhere. For example, we take week-long rough camping trips. So we don't have any running water, we don't have any plumbing, we don't have anything. We just sleep in a tent with a wood stove and we rough it for a week. That's where I got used to doing military showers before I ever went off grid. So I already was accustomed to it. So I know now that I know how, I have this skill, which I think it actually is a learned skill of how to clean myself, which is very, very important, particularly if you have any kind of poop hit the fan scenario where life isn't the same and you need to start being more creative with your resources. Now I know how much water I truly need. I know, especially with long hair, how to most efficiently clean, and it's really not that big of a deal. Now that said, the cons are that it's not hot running water. Hot running water truly is a luxury that I'm not. Hot running water is truly a luxury that I'm not upset about having eventually. I don't think we all need to rough it, and I don't think it's necessary to be super cool and hardy off grid to have to shower out of a bucket. Somebody so helpfully commented recently on a certain camping shower setup, so thank you if that was you. Thank you very much for the comment and sharing that resource with me. And we are going to look into something like that once we build our bathhouse. So we will be having hot running water powered by solar power and probably heated by propane very soon. And then I'll have an actual full-size shower that I won't need to squat down and, you know, when the shower curtain touches and sticks to your bare naked wet skin, and I just hate that feeling so much. Not now. Gosh. Oh, her breath smells like fish. And even if I had to go back to military showers, the fact I'm gonna have a full-size shower is going to be something that I will have so much gratitude for when I'm in it. The other con to doing military showers, where you have to actually boil your water before putting it in the bucket, is that with kids, that makes it an extra step of friction before you can clean up big messes. So just this morning, I had my 10-month-old wake up covered in pee. Just so much pee to the point where I had to say, okay, you need to get a really quick wash down. And I had to wait for the tea kettle. But then I have this pee-soaked baby that I need to do something with in the meantime. So I tried to take my time stripping him down and putting him in the bathtub, and then I had my husband look at him and watch him as he was on his way out the door to work so that the baby didn't slip while I went and grabbed the water, tried not to burn the baby while I poured it in the bathtub. There have been other times where kids have wet the bed overnight, or when they've gotten really sick and there's been vomiting involved. All of those things, you really, in the moment, you want hot running water. So while that's not a major con, it still is another little bit of frustration or friction where you just deal with it, but it would be nice to not have to deal with it. Now, we have tried other setups. I do want to mention that. We have tried the camp shower bags, those black ones. Be careful because those will scald the dickens out of you. If you have been letting that black bag sit in the sun all day and you get all naked and soaped up and ready and you put the water on you, it burns. So you have to be careful of that. And then we had trouble getting the shower bag up high enough to have a good flow. And then always the little, the tubey thing would always have issues with multiple shower bags that we've used, and so we didn't get a good enough flow. And then that only held so much that oftentimes if I wanted to wash my hair or do any kind of leg shaving, I really would run out of water pretty fast. So I would have to sit there in the shower tent at that time. We showered outside back then with a shower tent. I'd have to sit there, call for my husband, and wait for him to bring over some water, which may or may not have been heated up. Another thing that we've tried is a watering can. And the watering can had, I think, 2.5 gallons. And so I would often run out of water with that. I can shower with just 2 gallons if I'm not gonna wash my hair. If I'm gonna wash my hair, it's going to take more than 2.5 gallons. So again, same problem, calling for the husband who took too much delight in pouring very cold water over me. We've also showered by spraying each other off with the hose connected to the IBC totes. And we have also showered just in the rain, which is a very funny story. There was a tornado that came through near our area, and at that time we were staying on our friend's property. And so our friend says, hey, come on up to the house. You guys are in that camper, you can get whisked away or a tree can fall on you. Come on up to the house for safety. So we did, we stayed there until the danger of the tornado had passed. Then we went back home down to our camper. It was pouring torrential rain. It was windy. It was dark because it was late at night. And we had gotten all the kids into the camper, and my husband and I said, let's just shower in the rain because it's raining so hard right now. So we get all into our birthday suits, and we get out there with soap and shampoo and scrubbing, and we run out there, and as soon as we run out there, it stops raining. And it just goes to a very cold, sad drizzle. So we're standing there naked, wondering when the rain is gonna come, cold, and we just decide to run back inside, grab the tea kettle, pour water into the tea kettle, run back outside, and pour, again, cold water over each other, laughing and screaming a little because cold water is, when you're not ready for it, it's not fun. And then once we get back inside, get dried off, it's like 5 minutes and it starts torrential pouring again. That's all to say, we've tried many different ways of showering, and off-grid showering, and I could earnestly tell you my favorite, most preferred, fail-proof method is the military shower, showering out of a bucket. This is really what I would recommend to anybody considering off-grid or rough camping or anything like that. If you have any questions about that or any comments of what your preferred method is, please feel free to share it because I'm getting a lot of wonderful ideas from everybody who's been commenting, and I really appreciate sharing your wisdom. So thank you very much and stay clean.